sometimes I would cry looking at the faraway horizon. And because I really felt there's something out there. There's something out there for me, right? There's something else. But it was a peaceful question. It was a hopeful questioning that I posed to the universe, that I sent out. I said, I know there's more. Somehow I can live light. Somehow I can live beauty. Somehow I can live peacefulness. And my evolution continued on. I grew. I left Brazil. I left my hometown first, then I left Brazil. Then I ended up landing in the US. Adventures began in my life, and adventures flourished in my life. And throughout my life, I honestly believe I've had beautiful angels of love protecting me and helping me and guiding me.
Welcome everybody to my podcast, BENU Rising Stories of Death and Rebirth. And my name is Hannah. I'm a sound healer, voice alchemist, and I give guided self-healing sessions. And I also created this podcast. And today it's episode 4 with a very special guest, Jacqueline Boom Boom from Leipzig. She is a singer, songwriter, performer of electronic music in Leipzig. And yeah, I'm very, very happy to have her here on my podcast on episode 4, not 3, 4. And yeah, because we also... yeah, she's a very interesting person, and it's quite interesting because we don't even know each other that well, but we met in person a few times, and usually we just run into each other, like in sometimes like at 4 a.m. in the morning in Leipzig or something like that. I'm not in Leipzig anymore, so I'm not in Germany at the moment, so unfortunately we can't run into each other right now, but we used to do that. And we met in 2018. And I want to say it was love at first sight.
Indeed it was. Thank you for having me, Hannah. It's really lovely to be on your podcast, to have this chance to see you again, so to speak, even though it's through a camera. But it's really precious that we get to finally meet here and do a collaboration, do something that's so beautiful. I love your podcast, and I love what you're doing, and the message that you are sending out to the universe, sharing with others, this message of healing, of hope, of optimism, of self-strength. Yeah, we've known each other for a long time, and it was love at first sight, like you said. And I love the moments we had when we exchanged such good energy of love, and we had little conversations, really beautiful conversations. And for me, it's a gift to have you in my life and to be here for your podcast. Thank you so much for this honor. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for your beautiful words. And yeah, I can say exactly the same back to you. And it's also like funny because because you have you're doing a lot of things where I will give you the chance to tell us a little bit more about that in a second. But you also have a radio show on Radio Blau in Leipzig, and it's called The Love Hour with Jacqueline Boom Boom. And I actually was on that radio show, I think it was in 2018 or something. I didn't even think of that when I was asking you to join my podcast, but then I remembered and I was like, wow, that's quite funny.
Yeah. I love that I've invited so many different friends to be on this radio program, The Love Hour. Because it's also like a record of the moment, how we feel about love, how we are learning to love ourselves more deeply, more purely, more truly, truthfully. And exactly, so throughout these few years I've done the program on Radio Blau here every month, mostly, really every month. There's a beautiful history already of you being when you were younger, a few years ago, talking about love, expressing what love means to you. This is really lovely that you were already on my program. And I look forward to having you again at some moment. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Awesome. And also you just said, I mean, for me, like you have like a lot of messages, and I can so much, you know, like I think my soul is like, when we met in 2018, I was like, it was for me like, was like really like my soul just remembered you, and like was like, oh, I know this person, or I want to hug this person, and even though I didn't really know you.
Yeah. It's also really important to talk about this kind of mysterious factor that happens between us sometimes when we meet someone and we really, really like, we feel like our souls have known each other. And when we hug each other, when we look into each other's eyes, that this is transmitted and that this is so beautiful and so pure. And to recognize this, to see this, to embrace this, is the extra gift, you know? I think sometimes we live such hurried lives, and we kind of we are so pulled by someone and the conversation is really beautiful, or some potential is really beautiful, but then we tend to walk away sometimes, you know. But it's lovely when we recognize it in each other, this light in each other. So I saw this in you as well, and I thank you for seeing it in me, for feeling it in me.
Yeah, you're a diamond. I don't need to look for the light. It's just like just right there. It's so beautiful. I like
Wow.
yeah, it's just so beautiful to have you, yeah, to know you and to see you. It's just like an absolute delight.
Three kisses to your heart and to your soul.
Thank you. And you also, like, this is like, you know, I saw you perform on stage, of course, a couple of times. That's often when I like accidentally or not accidentally ran into you, or when we met, was often in the, you are also like describing yourself as like a night person, I think. Like I'm like more like a day person, so it's like quite interesting that we even met.
I'm an absolute vampire who also loves the daytime, but I love the nighttime. Yeah, I thrive in the nighttime. There's something about the mystery of the night light and the lights, the quiet and the excitement of it, all these crazy things that happen at nights. You know, I think all the energy that we build up during the day is kind of burning out of us somehow in the nighttime.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it brings me back to also something someone I met during my travels last year was like, he was like sending me a poem or something, like also recorded on an app. It was like a meditation app, and it was like, I think it was titled like The Darkness or something like that. And this person was also like describing taking walks at night, and like, I think maybe it's time for me to explore the nighttime a little more deeper again.
Yeah, I think it's like it's such a moment of inner something. There's like this inner beauty that happens at night as well, you know, like the quiet, and at some moment you have to give up your body and you need to go to sleep and close your eyes, you know.
It's funny because today is also the day of the solstice. Actually,
today's the longest day. A friend of mine reminded me of this fact. Yeah.
Funny. And I mean, we will stream this, or we will publish the podcast in like about 3 weeks, but we are actually recording this on the day of the solstice. So yeah, quite interesting topic for the solstice.
Yeah.
And you also, so like we are talking about we'll start, because like from like one of the most important messages that you are, like almost everything you say or what you are creating is like love. Actually, love is like probably the word you most use, I guess.
It's the word that I live in my life. It's the word that's like so present. Yeah, it's really, really true for forever and ever and ever. And I think like at some moment I really truly uncovered, you know, the meaning of love, what love can mean, what it really can be, and what it is, and so it guides everything in my life, and I think it guides us. I think love is our soul, and you know, so I can talk about this later, but this is exactly. It became so clear to me and so needed, necessary, like breathing fresh air, like drinking fresh water, that I speak of love, that I talk about love, that I share love, that I ask people about love, that I plant little seeds of love along the way, every day, every moment that I can. And so I'm really thankful for this in my life, for that the universe blessed me with this infinite gift of love. Yeah.
Wow,
Because
that's
love truly is infinite. Yeah, love is truly infinite. Even in the darkest moments, or the most painful moments, it's the constant, it's the thing that is in us, that stays in us, that nurtures us, heals us, help us to uh, constantly transform. You know, it's life is constant transformation, and love is this. It's the purest agent of this. It's the light of this. Yeah.
wow. So maybe this is a good segue into the topic, because we already talked about the nighttime and the darkness, and now we talked about love and light. And so, because this podcast, as you know, is about crisis and transformation, and like the moments of like the dark night of the soul, where we move through a massive amount of change and like experience maybe also severe trauma, or like really things that appear to us as like really heavy and traumatic maybe, but that ultimately led us on a different path and brought us more into alignment with our soul's plan, or with our authentic self. And so I am really curious and really happy that you're here, because I have the feeling that you have something like very, I don't really know much about your story, like almost nothing actually, but I kind of have the feeling that you have like, yeah, very important things to share. So I would invite you to just share a bit about, yeah, whatever you want to share about this, like, but maybe your personal path with crisis and transformation.
So like when we talked about this during the podcast with you, and you shared with me that the theme of your podcast is sharing moments of crisis, and how we not only survive them, but how we live through them, and how we face them, and the moments of pain, the moments of darkness, the moments of emptiness. And I want to say to you that I think this is a really, really important topic to talk about, a really important soul theme to talk about, you know, because you said something just now that really that triggers me, like in a way that a little light jumps off and says, no, I feel it's like this, and I want to share with you. The soul has no darkness. I think like our soul has no darkness. Our souls are light, pure light, constant energy of light, of love. And as we go, or when we go through painful times, when we go through crisis, when we go through these moments that we feel completely disconnected with everything that we are indeed constantly connected with, you know, the energy of love in the world, the love of our friends, the love of nature, the love of music. When we're going through a crisis, it's often I think it is a crisis of the soul, but it's a crisis of the mind, it's a crisis of the body, it's a crisis of our circumstances, it's a crisis of our own process here and our journey to heal ourselves. I really, really also, like, along this way, like, I truly have come to believe very, very deeply and purely that as we come here, we don't come here to suffer, but most of us come here to heal some pain, and to help others heal pain. And so it's something that each human being is at some level, at some moment, facing pain, and healing this pain. And I really, really, really don't believe that we need to live darkness first, to suffer first, to then appreciate the light, appreciate feeling good. I think this feeling of feeling good, this feeling of feeling connected with everything and peaceful with everything and loving with everything in the universe is innate in us. It comes in us already, in our souls, like from the moment we arrive here on this crazy planet. And we are constantly protecting this light. We're constantly healing, making sure this light heals from past things, from whatever things that may have happened that we caused, that our ancestors caused, or that we need to cleanse for other human beings. There's so much mystery, about this stuff, and I am not. For me, I embrace the mystery. I don't need to explain all the mysteries, and sometimes I'm learning more and more about what some things can mean and stuff. But it's really, I think it's this beautiful process to really realize that we are light, that we are love, and that as we have our time here on this planet and evolve and transform constantly, that if you imagine like a light that's already really beautiful and powerful, but it's growing and it's growing, it's becoming like full-on light, for example, something like that, light that expands completely infinitely. And I think this is like something that may happen to our souls. Our souls just at some moment, as we face everything we face, as we share everything we share here, as we live the lives that we live here, our process, our journey is leading us to this expansive, this infinite light that we already are, but just expands, you know? I really, really love the word cleansing, because I think cleansing is just like it's not just washing the dishes, but it's like cleansing ourselves, cleansing from past things, cleansing from the pains that we face with, life and friends and things, and losing someone and all these things. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on this too. I hope,
No, I think that's beautiful. That's very wise. When you were explaining it to me, it makes total sense. Actually, like that, it's not. And I noted down. Maybe it's not we shouldn't call it the dark night of the soul, but the dark night of the ego, because that's actually
the darkness of something in us that's like needing to leave us. It's like the little bit of light in us, a little bit of light in that we share with other human beings in suffering. For example, this little bit of light goes in there, reignites the light that needs to be reignited, and the darkness starts to dissipate and the pain starts to dissipate. But it doesn't belong there. The darkness doesn't belong in our souls, and pain doesn't belong in our souls. And it's a beautiful journey to soul. I think our lives are a beautiful journey to soul. Yeah. And to continue on with we can, if you have questions in between, please let me know. But facing crisis, sharing moments of crisis. Indeed, I've faced so many things in my life, so many painful moments, where, I honestly felt really, really, really empty. And I think the feeling of emptiness is something that really needs attention immediately. Like we need, when we feel empty, when we feel like some void or something, that we reach out to friends, that we go into nature, that we meditate, that we play some songs that we really love, that we dance, we do things, that we take steps to remind ourselves in the most beautiful possible ways of the joy in us, of the beauty in us, it's something so intense for me to talk about facing crisis and facing pain, because I really truly believe that at some moment in my life I will reach a point where I feel no more pain, where I really, 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 there will be no more pain. There will be nothing that I can say, this is so painful, my body is painful, or this, that thing that happened is painful. It's also part of the mystery of life, but how this happens, when this happens, and if the beings that stay here see when somebody leaves here, that person left in absolute peacefulness inside. And to remind ourselves that we carry a peacefulness inside, that we need that peacefulness within ourselves, is really, really vital also. And this helps me a lot. When things are really difficult or painful, I sometimes tend to just be on my own, and I close myself off a little bit, and I try to do the things that I think would help. And I question a lot, and I let go of the questioning. I stopped asking why for things often, because asking why gets me to this wall, that there can be 1,000 answers. And it gets complicated sometimes. And so why I feel more and more wise. I had the question, and how I can do something, which way can I go, something like that speaks so much more to my soul, to my heart, and to my mind, that I live my life like this, and I'm lucky that I have really beautiful friends I can reach out to when I'm going through a crisis. When things get really, really painful, I sometimes forget that these friends are there. It happens to me as well, I think like this blank void or something can happen to all of us, but you step out of it as quickly as you can, as purely as you can, as conscientious as you can, is really, really important, to hear yourself. So I do this. I think I stay in the consciousness of the pain for a while. I say hello to my pain. I kind of embrace the pain in a way, and I talk a lot with my body. I converse with my body. I actually I believe in the power of the touch to heal. I believe in the power of the mind to heal the body, and this also helps me a lot to literally heal little things in my body, to literally heal things that are really heavy for me or that are really painful, because constantly the balance is so much greater. The balance of there's no balance between what is painful and what is beautiful in my life or in life. And I always, in some amazing way inside of me, remember the beauty of life, the power of life, the healing thing that life is. And through pain, this guides me as well,
Wow. I loved a lot of that. but you are like this thing when you said like asking why is like hitting a wall, and then it's better to ask like how or what can I do or something like that. Reminded me actually of something that the first time I ever went to therapy, that was like I think like 19 years old or 18 years old or something. It wasn't like, it didn't help much. But
sometimes therapy can, like, you have to find a good therapist or be open to
it was a beginning.
It
was a beginning. So I mean, but he there were like some, like it didn't heal me or something, but it was like the first step towards something. And he said, I remember that, like, it was quite a while ago, but he said something like that in German, or in English or something, we always ask like, why is this happening? Why me? Why this? Why that? And in French, it's the question is pourquoi, and then it's like, if you translate it, it means for what does this happen? For what? And it's more like oriented in the way of like, okay, so like not why as in like, oh my goodness, what a drama, but like,
I never thought about this. I love saying pourquoi all the time, and I always translate it literally like why, but it's not why, it's for what exactly. Thank you for this little French lesson.
I really like that too.
French fluent when I was younger, but then I forgot a lot.
Oh really? French fluent, wow. So and was like, so like there, I think like it's a lot of wisdom that I'm hearing from you, and for me it's like, it's also like really, I think for me it's like the perfect time to have this conversation with you, because I'm like, ooh, I really need this reminder right now, and like, because I'm still struggling with some things where I'm like, oh God, please can this like finally shift or like something else, and but I also like, especially last year I was reading a very important book to me. It's like, I will just name the title, I will not talk about too much about the book, but it's called The O Manuscript, and written by Lars Muhl. Lars Muhl is a Danish spiritual guide, I don't know if or author, and anyways, like, this book was like really helping me with like trying to get more into the space that you described, and for me that is like also this space of so it's interesting because there are so many things because I just decided that I will get back into giving guided self-healing sessions. I didn't do this for like quite a while out of certain reasons. And one of the reasons was that with the technique, the modality that I learned, I was very, very focused on like healing everything, like heal everything that is like, like disturbing to me, or that I thought was like not good enough, or not, or like, like annoying or something. And at some point I had to realize, no, this is not how it works. It's like self-love is the way you actually heal. You can use modalities and all that in order to get better, and that's awesome. I mean, it helped me a lot for sure. But at some point I hit a wall actually with that aggression, almost like, because it was like coming from, not from a point of self-love,
but place. And I think like you touch on something like, to heal ourselves needs to come from a peaceful place. It's like healing is so crazy. Like I think the more hurry you have to fix your pain, or the more you hide from it, or the more you think you can put a band-aid on it, and the more you do other shit to distract yourself from the pain, the less pure your intention to heal actually is. And the more nervous you are, and the more sort of like, why me shit, like when you let go of all this stuff and you really come from a peaceful place, say, I really want to heal this is not me. This is not me. This doesn't belong to me. To realize that whatever pain that we're feeling, to realize that whatever discomfort we are feeling that's causing us to fall in a place that we don't belong to, we don't belong in, to really, really say, okay, I gotta get out of this. It's so important. Yeah.
Also, like I had like, like it was, for me, like self-love is like the way to go, and that means like for me, and what you described, it sounds to me like this, like what spiritual people or spiritual leaders or whoever are talking about when they talk about presence, like being present with what is, being accepting with what isn't. Also, that was also like one of the reasons I'm also like thinking about right now again, like to accept the path of not only of our soul, but the path our soul chose in this life with this ego and this body that we have, and to accept that there is like some reason behind why things happen at certain moments in time, and maybe not earlier, or not always in the way our ego wants it to happen or to be or something, but that there is a different that there is a different motivation maybe behind that we, with our nice little cute egos, don't always accept, or not only always able to see. So why, like, did you, and I also wanted to ask, like, did you always have this this feeling of love and like this, or this wisdom that you are like, or this view on reality and your life, or did it take, like, was there like was it different at some point?
I can tell a little bit about this, like my journey about this. Yeah, it's for me. It's like I could talk for 3 hours about this, or 10 hours. I don't know. It gets so rambly sometimes. I feel like I can express a lot, because there's a lot of different ways I can look at this, at my journey on this planet, and on my being here, up to here, and being here. But I remember something essential. Like when I was a little kid, I remember like being a really pure child, and really and being so in love with the world, and knowing that I was a really good soul. Like I remember this somehow. Nobody said to me like, you are a really good soul. That I remember nobody said it to me. Maybe someone said it to me, and it's just planted the seed, and it grew. Could also happen. Maybe all the beautiful angels of the universe whispered to me, you are a good soul. And so I was raised with religion and all this stuff, and I believed in stuff back then, but then I questioned everything a lot too. I'm like, this doesn't sound possible or real, or and all this stuff. And so I had a lot of struggles with letting go of guilt, and letting go of what I learned in religion and all this stuff, and to start feeling the world and feeling everything in my own way, through my own heart, through my own soul, through my own mind. And I felt like I was always running away from something. Like as a child, I wanted to run away from something. I wanted to run away from my hometown. I wanted to run away from my family situation, which was painful, at times really painful. I wanted to run away from where I grew up, which was also very conservative and very painful as I grew to be, an adolescent and start to grow up in this place. um, I really felt a sense of like, I don't belong here. I don't belong in this kind of pain. And how do I get out of here? Like I started to already question the universe. How the hell do I get out of it? What at first I said, what the hell am I doing here? Number one question I had as a child. Number two was like, how the fuck do I get out of here? Because deep inside of me, my soul was always telling me, there's something more out there. There's something more out there. There's something more out there. And this stayed with me constantly, that there's something more out there. I tell my friends sometimes, it's a story that when I was a little kid, my father had this old bike, and when he was not using his bike, I would take the bike in the afternoon and ride like out into the country I lived in a little city, and ride to the countryside and usually go to this one gigantic bridge somewhere far away, and park my bike there and look out the bridge and look at the river and look at the forest and look at the horizon far, far away. And sometimes I would cry looking at the far away horizon. And because I really felt there's something out there. There's something out there for me, right? There's something else. But it was a peaceful question. It was a hopeful questioning that I posed to the universe, that I sent out. I said, I know there's more. Somehow I can live light. Somehow I can live beauty. Somehow I can live peacefulness. And my evolution continued on. I grew. I left Brazil. I left my hometown first, and I left Brazil. Then I ended up landing in the US. Adventures began in my life, and adventures flourished in my life. And throughout my life, I honestly believe I've had beautiful angels of love protecting me and helping me and guiding me. People were really kind to me often. People saw a beauty in me that I don't think I transmitted that beauty, like I I didn't think that I transmitted a beauty to other human beings, but they saw a beauty in me. They saw a goodness and a kindness in me. And they said it sometimes. And for me to hear this from other human beings also is something so important for me to mention, because really every kind little act that we do out there in the world, in our lives, every moment that you just smile at someone and say something nice to someone, or you help someone with something small, whatever the hell it is, you plant little seeds of love in this person, in this person's world, in this person's universe, and little things start flowering in them. Actually, in the being, little things start flowering. And that's how I think, like we all nurture each other. We are constantly watering each other's gardens. We can water our own garden. We must water our own gardens. It's vital, of course, that we water our own gardens, that we love our own gardens. And we also need the watering and the care and the love of other human beings coming to our garden and watering and saying, I love you, little garden. You are beautiful. You give me the beautiful fruits of joy, the beautiful fruits of companionship. You give me the beautiful fruits of trust. The things that we are constantly giving each other that are beautiful, that are kind. And so I'm really thankful that every moment, every step of the way of my life, there have been beautiful, helpful beings, kind human beings that are inspiring to me, whose kindness also I saw. And when I saw how they were kind to other human beings, or how they were just peaceful with them and not judgmental and not superior, when I saw this, I witnessed this growing up and developing my life. It became absolute clear that it's possible to live peacefully, that it's possible to live in absolute harmony, and never, ever, 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 ever to say, oh my God, this sucks, everything's so peaceful, everything's so beautiful. Like people say, I'll be bored if everything is peaceful. Bullshit. You've never had this beauty, like if you had a moment of absolute beauty in your life, you'd not ever, ever want to or wish to go back to up and down, up and down, up and down. No one wants to live like that. Everybody wants a sense of peacefulness. I think it's the ultimate goal of human beings. Also, like, how can we reach a peacefulness in my life? How can my life be peacefulness? And everything around me is peacefulness, and every being around me is peacefulness, and everything that's transmitted is peaceful. It's a lovely path to follow, because peacefulness is love, peacefulness is sweetness, peacefulness is it's the soul. The soul is a peaceful thing. It's a beautiful light expanding slowly. It's not, it's all the things that are beautiful and kind in us. And yeah, so go ahead. But yeah, go ahead, you have a question?
Yeah, I just would if is there like one moment in your life where you would say like that you would want to share about like the like a moment where it might have been really like a dark night of the ego, or like where, or was there like a situation like that? Maybe there wasn't, and it was just like this, not just like, but like more like little, or like more many different things.
Yeah. I learned recently, like 2012 was some kind of big marker for transformation in our lives. I'm learning these things a little bit more. I don't always look at them. I mean, I think things come to me when my soul needs it, and it's really reaching to me, and I'm really peaceful with this. But I learned about this, and around 2011, 2012 in my life, there were a lot of transformations happening, a lot of things going on in my life. And I was in a lot of pain from my relationship, and I was in a lot of pain. Like, I was in a lot of shit. I loved myself. I knew I loved myself and all this stuff. And but with some relationships, the combination of two different human beings can be really pollution to the soul, pollution to the mind, pollution to the heart. Everything is fucked up, and you lose your self-worth, and you lose the beauty that you are in your life. This can happen in relationships that are unhealthy, unproductive, unhelpful. I think relationships can be like helpful. They can be loving, kind, guiding, and always peaceful. And so I face a lot of pain here and there from, stuff like this. And there was a moment in 2012 when I was in excruciating pain, and I went traveling by myself. I met some friends for a while, and I traveled by myself a lot.
And can I ask, just ask, where did you live in Leipzig already back then? I don't even know.
No, I was living in the US. I was living in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So in this moment of excruciating pain, there were two things that happened. That were, I can say, three things that were really extra powerful and helped me a lot. First of all, is my desire and my need to heal myself and to get better. I had so many conversations with the universe, like riding the bus or riding my bike somewhere in San Francisco, where I was in extreme pain. Like, I was in extreme pain and having horrible thoughts in my head, thinking of ending my life and things like that, which I don't say this. Like, I say this because I think it's something important to face in ourselves. Say, like, sometimes I've been so weak, I didn't think my life was worthy of staying here, of being here. And I had some powerful conversation with the universe about this. I kind of made my promises to the universe, and little by little I started to heal. But it was my desire, my desire to heal, and my need to heal for myself and for others, that helped me propel me to looking for these other things. So a trip by myself was amazing. I felt so open. I met so many friends. This really, really helped me to feel like the world is more open, and this kind of, I could take this trip, and it happened as a miracle to me, actually. And I also thought about meditation, and I wanted to really try meditation during this time, and really see if meditation could help bring a peacefulness back to me that I really need, and that is me, And I didn't have a lot of money back then, but I went to Transcendental Meditation. I met the teacher. I went to like an introduction section, and it was really fucking expensive. No meditation costs money, but that's another topic. And I talked to the teacher. And I said, "Hey, could I pay half the price or something like that, please?" And he said, "Yes, we can do this." So I paid half price, and I learned Transcendental Meditation. And this meditation really, really healed me. It helped me to start having feelings in my third eye chakra, that I have a third eye chakra, that it's there, that something powerful is there. I began to just feel more connected with my pain in a way that I never felt before, that I could release my pain, that I could heal my pain by healing it. And I started to meditate more often. So I took the whole meditation course, and I was practicing a lot of yoga as well this time. In San Francisco, I was taking hot yoga, and I know this also helped me and my jogging and things. And I know not everyone can be physically athletic and likes to do sports and likes to go jogging or likes to do something, you take long walks or something. But whatever your body permits you to do in this, in this world, in terms of being outside and feeling the world and hugging trees and stepping on the earth bare feet and communicating with nature and feeling deeply, truly connected with everything. The more of this that we do, the more we're healing ourselves. And so I think because I came into the world already with some kind of, like you said before, some kind of pre-written, or no, maybe not pre-written, but I came into this world with a lot of pain to heal. I realized this. I've felt a lot of pain. I've lost human beings that I love in my life too early in my life. I lived through the AIDS crisis in the US. I saw excruciating pain. And my pain is not comparable to the pain of others. And we can never, ever, ever do that. It's not about this at all. And so I knew that I came into the world with pain to heal, but I also knew, and I felt somehow, that I'm made of love, I am love, and that this love is going to heal and has healed so much pain in my life. This love, this light, this goodness that it's in me, but it's connected directly to you. It's connected directly with every tree and every creature and every being and the earth and beyond and the mysteries. This light is constantly healing me and healing all of us. Yeah. And a lot of luck. I don't know if you could describe luck in terms of spiritual meaning, but I feel lucky. I feel blessed. I use terms that I think are mostly connected with religion, but to me, they mean nothing to do with religion or with God or a guru or whatever. They are just words that are really pure and that I embrace. And so I feel blessed. I feel strong. Even in my deepest weakness, moments of weakness, because the weakness is not mine. Even in the moments of excruciating weakness I've faced in my life, I know that I'm strong. I know that I'm strong in a way that is not the fighting way. It's not like me against my pain. It's me saying, hi, pain, I'm healing you. Thank you for reminding me that I needed to heal you. Thank you for reminding me that I needed to heal you, for me, for the beings around me, and for my ancestors, for other souls that passed through here. Because I think, I feel like there's a lot of, the earth is beautiful and peaceful in many, many places, but there are places that are so heavy and there are places that need healing. I think there's a lot of souls for which we are bringing light into the world so they can be free, so they can free themselves from some kind of pain that they are trapped in or need help with. It's all a gigantic mystery to me, but a beautiful, gigantic mystery, an infinite mystery. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I think for me, and probably also for you, but it's also a question, you do you transmit this message a lot through your art. Actually, you're not only a singer and performer, but you're also an artist, and you create I don't know how to say this in English, if there's a specific word for that, but pieces of art.
Yeah, multimedia stuff. I create paintings and little films and all kinds of things. Yeah.
And I thought because that was just a question that arose within me right now, because I think for me it's also coming up, for me the working with the sacral chakra in order to like open that, I don't know how to say that, but to work also more with the physical body, that you also already like tapped into, and opening up the sacral chakra, and that is like the center of our life force and our creativity. And so I just like, the question would probably be something like, can you share more about the art and the music you create and the motivation behind it, and how creativity is part of your healing process? Because somehow that makes sense to me right now. I don't know if you don't agree, you can of course.
Hey, absolutely no. Creativity is something that I think is also like vital in every human being. It's a crazy thing. I think every human being has beautiful creativity in them, crazy creativity in them, experimental creativity in them. And I didn't look for art. I think art just came into my life, is my life, became my life. And I wrote a lot as a little child, like when my parents were fighting or when I needed some kind of hope or whatever from the world. Like I started to write little poems, write little things. And so I don't know when I started, but I was really, really young when I started to write my first little poems and things. And in school, I was writing it's like good little texts for, for the classes and stuff. And but writing was one of the first things, like how can I release the pain that I feel? How can I find hope and in my, in what I write? And so I was writing little things that were really, really, really beautifully cheesy and hopeful for a child, to dream of a world where there was peace and they could walk around the fields of flowers and be okay with everything and connect. So I wrote a lot of stuff, and I began to draw when I was really younger too. I love drawing, but all these things, I never thought that I wanted to be perfect. I never thought that I wanted to be some big writer or some big whatever. I felt I need to express the love in me, actually, the goodness in me through my art. And this has also been this evolution throughout the years that I've loved making paintings and things that are happy or that have some sense of hope in them. That no matter what, at some moments, I give the hope, I give the light, and I say, there is light. All this shit that's happening sometimes, it's like, doesn't matter, there's light, like there's light. And
beautiful.
I think like the process of like this, what you talked about, like opening up your third eye chakra, the sacred chakra, or being really deeply connected with it and being deeply connected with it, is something that happened more as I was already living in Leipzig, and I was, doing my yoga at home, going jogging, meditating, feeling very loved by the universe, and also falling again, being again truly, and learning to be truly in love with me, with myself, with the being that is inside of me. Because for a while in Leipzig also, I went through a really painful time here. I had a separation that was really painful. There were things that happened in my life that were shit. Pardon the language.
All good.
But I felt a lot of pain, and I felt a lot of darkness in that moment. But I also thought, I need to heal myself. I need to find again the joy in me. And I think once you realize also that you have this joy in you, it's in you, this beautiful little child is there, wanting to play, wanting to see the world, wanting to love everyone, wanting to like explore and be, then it stays with you forever. And so this helped me a lot to tap into this, to say, I gotta get out of this. And slowly Leipzig and I became this like amazing, beautiful friend who just like hugged each other fully, and new friends, and the friends that were there growing. And exactly, I think like sometimes when you are in a toxic relationship of any kind, a friendship is toxic, or it's toxic. I say toxic because it's pollution. When you are in situations with other human beings where you are being diminished, or where you don't feel appreciated, or you don't feel yourself, or you don't have your joy to share with others, where you don't feel enriched, you don't feel like you're growing, and all these things kind of are paused for something else, for children, for whatever it is that people get in relationships for, then we're really, really blocking ourselves. And I'm glad that I'm always getting. I'm always not. I have been blessed to get out of the pain and to leave that pain, not leave that pain anywhere actually, because I also like have this thing that I think when I believe that when I really heal my pain, that I heal it for everyone, for everything, forever. Like there's no like that pain is, I experienced it, I felt it, it was shit, I know it, I talked to it, I healed it, I cleansed it. And that's where this word also comes in. I cleansed it. We cleansed this pain, you know? I had a lot of guilt about my mother and a lot of things that I blamed on my mother, the way she was, for how I was living my life. And at some moment I was like, wait a second, she has no fault here. She has no fault. She did the best she could. She lived, you know, but she gave you a lot of love as well. And all the other stuff that was pollution that you grew up watching or that you lived, that you learned, you unlearn, you cleanse, you heal. And so this, I constantly look at things in a different perspective also, like from different lenses and a more peaceful, more beautiful, more kind, more humane way. And this guides me to then realize, okay, wow, I can be peaceful with this. I can truly be peaceful with this.
Beautiful.
It's an on and on thing.
I thought like what was really also like sticking out to me also within the last episode that like I had with Maurice Sinclair, there was like also you said like your desire to heal was the reason that got you out of it and was like the most help. And that is also like what I experienced, like I made this decision, okay, I will try everything. And so it was also like for Maurice, he shared that in the last episode. He also said like he was like, okay, I will become obsessed with healing myself. And I thought for me that is like,
it's not healthy, you know, like I become obsessed with healing myself. The desire needs to be pure, like and peaceful, like I said before, like, but the obsession is really dangerous. You have to be careful with like how obsessed you get with healing.
That's true.
And all the things that you pay for and that you do. It's like trying all kinds of different medications, you know, like at some moment you have to say, wait a second, maybe I can do this on my own, you know, like maybe there's some other simpler way to do it. And so to have this awareness also that, yeah, there's a lot of healers in the world, but there's really simple ways to heal ourselves too. There are really simple ways, you know.
Yeah, I thought like I think like
sorry,
it's like
off, by the way. Sorry, my love. Excuse my interruption, please.
No, all good, always allowed. You're the guest here. I want you to talk.
Okay. No,
no, but but like for me it was like this like very important on the path of healing, like is this moment of making this decision, I want to heal, I want to try, and I will. So and that then there can be many different ways of doing that. Also like because also what I shared earlier with like, when I realized, okay, it's not necessarily about healing everything, but like more about self-love and not being so obsessed about that. And since then I shifted with like starting when I was doing healing sessions, like really like sessions with a clear intention of healing something, or bringing, let's just say like bringing love into a situation or like sitting with something, I changed the intention. Since then with everything I do, and you know, I'm doing a lot of different things, but the intention that I always set is, I want what is most important for this person right now in order for them to be in alignment with their highest good. That is the ultimate intention. And other than that, if we, you know, like, then we will be guided by the intention is pure because the ego needs to step aside and needs to allow what actually is really in alignment to move through, and not to be so fixated or like clinging to what we think we want to change, and or what we think we need to heal or we need to change. So and I wanted to ask, so like you already shared about your mission in a way, but so like there are a few last questions. I think because we don't want to get over an hour, or like not long over an hour. But so like first of all, I actually also wanted to ask you, let's do this first. Are there any idols or role models or inspirations for like, or guides or something that you have in your like musical maybe, or like can be anything. I just was curious about that. If there's like anything that, yeah.
Wow. I don't feel like there's any guides in my life. Like there are guides in my life for sure. They're beautiful guides. I think I'm inspired by so much, you know, like I think about this so often. I'm inspired by music wise, so many different genres and moments in life that I've lived through or that I've been exposed to.
Mm.
I feel so lucky and so blessed that I know so much music that touches me. So many singers, so many human beings that are healers, that are living a life of healing, living a life of sharing love and goodness in this world. It's something that's really hard for me to like honestly like say, oh yeah, da 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 da, because then I would, you know, and I also like there's something in me that I really I don't have idols. Like I don't think any human being, whoever they are, whatever they do, um, that they are really like this kind of perfect. And I'm like, I would bow to you if I met you. It's really rare and really not actually like deep, not completely like a true thing for me to think I would bow to someone like a
Hmm.
god or like something that I can say to them like the most profuse and sincere unending thanks and say how much they touch me or how much they give us and all this stuff and really truly mean it. But I think also even this, when you feel this kind of admiration for someone, is almost impossible to truly express, you know. um, but because doing good is the most beautiful thing in the universe, like doing good, just doing good. And there are so many beautiful human beings who do good, you know. um,
Wow.
I watched a film recently that just to mention something really quick. It's called Doing Good. It's a little documentary, and it's about I forget the name of the guy, but I wrote it. Shit. It's about a Norwegian healer, a Norwegian man who's a healer. And it's called Doing Good. It's a documentary on Netflix, and it's a beautiful documentary. Period. The guy's a healer. The most beautiful things happen, and what he says in the end, somebody asked him, what's the most important thing that you've ever learned in your life? And his answer is so pure. And it was just like, my soul just went, ah, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it. Because he said, it was a moment in my life when I discovered that I have goodness in me, that I have goodness in me, you know? And a child has goodness in them. We all have goodness in us. The goodness is in us. And then he shared that goodness, healing others. He learned that he could heal and he could begin to touch other human beings in a way that was so pure and so powerful, so giving. Yeah.
Wow. That is
So
very beautiful. I kind of like have the feeling, I would just want to add the question. What would you tell someone who is maybe in the middle of a really heavy crisis, or yeah, like a dark night, or doesn't, yeah, maybe suffering from an ailment or something like that?
okay, one of the most powerful questions you can ask me right now, and one of the most difficult ones. About a week ago, exactly about a week ago, a friend of ours here in Leipzig ended his life and went, you know, and um, and the shock is palpable and the shock is inexplicable. And um, I think it's really good maybe for us to realize that there's nothing we can say to someone going through a really horrible crisis and a pain that they feel it's unbearable, um, that they see no way out, that they see no, you know, that they forget their light, that they are momentarily momentarily disconnected, because I think we're never ever disconnected from our light. We're never. It takes someone to remind us that it's there. It takes a hug. It takes something. Um, but I think that when someone reaches out to us, or we see that somebody's in pain, when we get a signal of this, and even before, what's really vital for us right now is to start talking with each other about this, talking about how are you really feeling behind the mask, behind the camera, behind this wig, behind the makeup, behind the party, behind, deep inside of you. How are you feeling this moment of your life? Do you have some moments of deep pain? To ask each other, to actually ask each other, to be brave and interrupt the flow of the party. Because I was also thinking about this earlier in life. I was selfish, I guess, a little bit. Not selfish, but I was like, when people talk about their problems at the party, I think I learned something immense in my life, more and more, that like there's no every moment of our lives we can talk about our pain. Every moment of our lives we can listen to each other talking about their pain. Every moment of each other, it's an honor when someone tells you that they are hurting, and you can listen to them, and you can be there for them. And you cannot diminish their pain, and you don't even think about diminishing their pain. You don't want to explain their pain to them. You don't want to tell them that it's going to be okay, it's going to be well. Bullshit. They don't see this stuff. When someone is in pain and in darkness, no matter how amazing and well-intended these words are coming from us, I'm realizing maybe that like one of the most important things we can do is the pre-conversation, is the sharing with each other. How are you really feeling? You know, I'm here for you. I care about you. I think you are a wonderful soul. I think you have a wonderful heart. I admire you as a human being, not for your job or your success or your clothes. I admire you as a human being. To express this to each other, because I think a lot of human beings don't know how appreciated they are, how admired they are, how vital they are for others, for each other. They don't know, and to hear this, to hear sincere, I appreciate you, I care about you, gives so much richness to us, to our souls, and make those moments when the pain comes, if some difficult situation comes, it truly helps us face those moments in a more healing way, in a more open way, in a more peaceful way. And recently in the winter this year, I faced some really horrible pain. And here and there, I reached out to a couple of friends, to two different friends, and they were helpful and they were kind. And it was, I'm glad that I reached out to them. But what I want to say about the reaching out and the experience with these two beloved friends, is that I'm thankful that I have them to reach out to, that I could reach out to them. And that there are moments when all we need is to cry with someone, even on the phone. We just need to cry. We don't need to explain why we feel such horrible pain. We don't need to, I'm speaking from a personal moment here, also personal level, very intimate level here. I don't need someone to tell me it's gonna be okay when I'm feeling pain. And maybe it's like this for a lot of people that are facing pain sometimes. I need just a shoulder to cry, even if over the phone, over a camera, and just say, I feel really weak, I feel really empty, I feel really lost, I feel in a lot of pain. And to let the tears come out, to be able to just be, and not really the pep talk, it's called in English, like the little positive kind of things we say sometimes. They can help, and I think they can help, but they don't stay with us in that moment, perhaps, like when the pain's so acute and so grave. We need a hug. We need us to be. We need somebody to take us for a walk. We need someone to say, I really appreciate you as you are. I really care for you. That's it. You know,
Yeah.
you are a light in my life. You know, just to really state this to other human beings, to talk to younger people, also to talk to not just the people in our circles, our friends, our community, but to expand this. And whenever you have a chance to say, hey, check in with each other, check in about your emotions, your feelings, how you're feeling. Because I think a lot more friends and beautiful human beings are falling into this moment of excruciatingly painful crisis, feeling trapped, and they decide to end their lives and go. And I talked a lot about friends about this recently also. To have no judgment, to have absolute no judgment about, just a second.
Oh, good, yeah.
When someone makes that decision, it's in a moment of complete pain and completely non-clarity. And for any human being to judge that and say selfish, they didn't think about us, all the judgments, all the things, I think it's a disservice to that soul. That soul struggled with that moment. That soul, you know, it's adding pain to that experience, I think, unnecessarily. And the absence is there, the being not being there anymore, the love, the affection that we get, the smiles, the touches, the learnings that we get from each other. These things are not present here physically anymore. But wow, I think the most beautiful thing we can do for human beings who decided to end their lives is to honor their souls in the most loving way possible for you. You know, honor their souls. Don't judge them. Don't live off the if, because I think at the beginning also we all live off if. What if I had called? What if I had invited to? What if I had, you know? This is not needed for our souls. It's just to connect with that soul in another level, and to say, hey, and this friend who left, yeah, I've had my moments with this, you know, with what happened, with his departure. And I truly hope, I pray in my own way, I pray that this soul is peaceful, that this soul is in light and in goodness, because this was a really good soul. This is a good soul. And this good soul doesn't end because they are not here anymore. This light goes on, this beauty goes on. And we carry this beauty with us. We carry this light from the energy from this human being with us.
Yes. That's
But it's a really complicated, it's a really powerful, it's a really important moment for us to talk to each other about, you know, sharing crisis. How can we be truly more supportive to each other? Sometimes, yes, it is taking someone to go to a party. Sometimes it is taking someone for a car ride, whatever it is, you know. But I think that the most beautiful thing is the being with each other. And being with each other can be being from a long distance phone call, being personally with each other and saying, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here. That's all.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I think the same thing. It's actually also, I just had like was just reaching out to a friend who was like asking me like 4 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago now. I was like also like I was really terrified about like what would happen next. And of course, like, you know, like on one level I thought it probably will be okay, but on another level I was like freaking out and was like really scared. And this friend asked me, how can I help you? What can I do for you? But for me, it was like it was a weird question, actually. I think it came from a very good place, right? Like she wanted to be really supportive, but for me it was like weird, because I thought, please just be here for me. I have no clue what you exactly. Just be there for me, please.
The intention is good, like I said before, and I realize it's true. But it's an overwhelming,
I didn't know what she could do.
I'm really glad that you talked to me about this also, and you share this personal experience. because it's important that we talk to each other about this, and we say, hey, what helps me is this, and for someone else maybe something else helps, you know.
Yeah,
but to
exactly.
talk about these things really openly and clearly, because it's actually really helpful. I want to say in a positive way, it's really, really helpful that we recognize and realize that an infinite number of human beings out there suffer some kind of pain, some kind of crisis to face, to deal with, and they need us, that we need each other. You know, we need ourselves deeply, deeply, deeply. We definitely, it's the most clear thing in the universe also, like that we need each other. We need each other. And I thank you for this conversation so deeply. I'm not saying goodbye to you. I just want to reiterate this. I want to say thank you for your podcast, for the love that you give, for the healing that you are, and for having this conversation, and for inviting me to talk about this. I believe this, like, it's a continuing conversation, you know, like other human beings will give you different perspectives, of course, other people that you have interviewed already. I'm looking forward to watching all your podcasts, by the way, on your YouTube channel. So anyone watching this or listening to this, you can also go to BENU Rising's YouTube channel and check it out there. All the beautiful things she shares. You sing so healingly as well. I love when you sing. I love the music that you make and that you sing when you play the ukulele. It is such an enriching gift. So I know countless other human beings out there are enriched by you. So I thank you for this. Really,
that is so sweet. Thank you so much. I thought like I was going to say all these things to you. But like, let's just like actually do this, because I would really love for you to share how people can find you. I will also post all your links in the description box, but maybe you can just share a little bit what, like maybe also locally, if there's like, you know, like concerts coming up or something like that, and tell us how people can find you and your music. And we will also be listening as an outro. We will be listening to a beautiful piece of music from Jackie, so you can have like a little snippet, because hello, you are a singer, a beautiful musician.
I'm so happy and so honored. What was the question again? I forgot.
No, like what? How can people find you? Like,
how people find me? Yeah, okay.
And what is coming up? Like maybe,
Hey, you asked me earlier how love comes to my life and my art and stuff, and I will just finish this thought a little bit quick for a moment here. I love including love in my paintings, in my writing, in the little videos that I make, my videos, my music, my lyrics and my songs. At some moment also of this evolution, I made a conscious, beautiful decision to just share positivity, share love, share light, share goodness, share what can be fun in us, what can be good in us, what is good in us. And so it's in all of my art. It's in the little creatures that I draw with little messages to each other, you know, saying something, loving something. Oh, you look so beautiful. Oh, you look so beautiful too. Whatever it is, like the simple little things that are the beautiful, sometimes deeper things that I write about love. So I thank you for asking this for me to share how people can find me. You can find my music on Spotify. You can find my music on Soundcloud. You can find my music on all the different, Bandcamp, Jacqueline Boom Boom Bandcamp, Jacqueline Boom Boom Spotify, and all these things. I have a YouTube channel as well, and in my Instagram, my Jacqueline Boom Boom Instagram, I also share meditation. Sometimes I do meditation sessions live. I post a lot about my music there, about my personal life and how beautiful things or enriching things happen in my life. I'm sharing a lot.
Of love, a lot of love. You're sharing a lot of love.
And every month on Radio Blau, there is the Love Hour program. The next one is going to be July 4th. July 4th at 22 o'clock. So I don't know if this podcast will be aired before then. But the next one after that will be 17th of August at 22 o'clock, Germany time on Radio Blau. So there are different ways to contact me, and I appreciate anyone who supports my music, who shares this message of love along the journey with me. Yeah, it's lovely. Thank you.
Beautiful. And I want to say thank you so much. I was so excited and so happy to have you on my podcast and to just see you again and to have an amazing conversation. And thank you so much for sharing all this pure wisdom, like from because wisdom coming from a place of experience. And I know, I see with that you are living what you are talking about with every fiber of your being. So that is you're a true leader by experience. It's just absolutely beautiful to have you as a friend and to see you and to watch you and to listen to your beautiful music. So thank you so much.
So I look forward to listening to us talking on the podcast.
I will actually, you too. We will actually, I will say goodbye in a second. And then we will smooth out with the music, with a little bit of music.
Wow, lovely.
So yeah, this was BENU podcast, for BENU Rising podcast. I'm getting so overwhelmed with all the things that I need to turn on the music and share my screen and all that.
Don't worry about it.
But so this was the 4th episode of BENU Rising. Stories of Death and Rebirth, this time with wonderful, beautiful, amazing, loving Jacqueline Boom Boom.
In the house.
And we will, I will be, you know everything about me, and so I will smooth into the music, and we will actually be listening to a bit of a little part of the song In Your Soul by Jacqueline Boom Boom. You can find that on Spotify and all the other platforms. Exactly. And let's just listen and smooth
Thank
out.
you, my love.
Ooh, it's probably a bit loud. Can you?
My soul.
Whoops.
I'm gonna send you a message.
Maybe start again from the beginning.
I think I need to do this again because
I'm really happy that you're about to play In Your Soul. In Your Soul is one of the songs that came out of me in such a beautiful, pure way, and that you're sharing this with your listeners on the podcast. Is a really amazing honor.
I think now we got it. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Talk to you soon.
A love that stays in you. Oh, the way it stays in me.